Okay, so last time we've talked about how that you think you've made the decision that you want to go elsewhere from your internship for lots of different reasons. You said it's important for professional development, that that's something that you want that you're not getting. You want a different supervisor. So tell me a little bit about where you are today.
So I feel like I just got some really important information. About what might be available in the community or lack thereof. So I feel like I'm a little bit set back in that decision just because bottom line is I would take a job there if there weren't any other jobs available, right? So like I feel like that would kind of be a fallback if I needed it. And Plan B, right? Problem with Plan B is I still have to apply for it. So then it's kind of like making the decision as to, and I think a lot of it is timing, like looking for those positions, applying for those positions, and like when to apply for certain things. Because I know, so hypothetically, if I applied for a position at the VA and applied for a position at Recovery Resources, the process to get me through to hiring at Recovery Resources would probably go significantly faster.
Right, because you're already there.
Because I'm already there. They wouldn't have to do the second and third interview or the whatever. You know, they wouldn't have to observe me run a mock group, which is part of the interview process, because they've already done that.
Right.
So really, it would be, that part of it would be pretty quick. Honestly, I don't know that an interview process would happen at all. Whereas with the VA or really any other agency in Cleveland, there's going to be a whole interview process. And so then it's sort of like, okay, do I wait on Recovery Resources until I've potentially heard back from these other places? But then, you know, at what point is waiting too long? I also kind of want to take a break after I'm done with school for like a little bit.
It's understandable.
So I don't know where I was going with that. I think that
So it sounds to me like your reasons, at least, for the switch now is because you've kind of got some more information now about job markets, and so your reason now might be to stay, like go with your plan B, and because you know it's going to be fast, it's going to be easy, and you might end up actually skipping all that stuff that other people would have to go through.
Right. Well, and the funny thing with that, though, is it still stays as my plan B, because I wouldn't be getting the supervision that I want. Like,
right.
There's a supervisor there that's appropriate for my license, credentialing wise, but in terms of really having somebody that's helping me grow as an individual, that's not there. And so then, you know, comes the question of whether or not, you know, is it even an option to contact a supervisor outside of an agency that I'm working for to get those supervision hours with them? That's more work on me, but that's something I would be willing to do to make sure I'm getting that.
Right. So like paying, so not necessarily using the supervisor you would have if you stayed at your internship site.
Right.
But paying somebody, like, to make sure that you're getting what you need outside of your agency as well. Okay.
Right. Well, or even having, you know, and I don't know how this would work either, but having, actually I think that there are ethical things about this, but having two supervisors. So like if it's a requirement of my contract through Recovery Resources or whatever, to have the same supervisor that I've had, but I know from experience that I won't be getting the type of supervision that I want, then contacting a previous supervisor or finding a separate supervisor outside of the agency to help with that professional development side of it.
Right.
Without conflicting with like case conceptualization and that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. So it sounds
but I don't know if that's allowed.
Yeah. So you really want that piece, that supervision piece, in order to get your license. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's this major part of us learning that I feel like there's so much of it that's like common sense and you do this because that's what's appropriate, or you do this because that's, if you don't, it's a violation of the client's rights, or if you do, a lot of it is sort of like rule based, and there are enough people in the setting around you to know, to help guide you through that anyway. So it's not necessarily a supervisor that needs to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this other side of it that isn't the day-to-day stuff that kind of helps guide you through
that practical stuff that you're gonna need.